Hey guys, Keegan here with 3G's Garage. The day has finally come. We're finally starting up one of these SRXs that we picked up for the first time. A lot of work went into this one. Did all the fuel system, cooling system, had some issues with the fuel pump, and we did fire it for a short bit on the table. So we know it does run, but I haven't ran it with the cooling system hooked up or for any period at all. So we're gonna fire it up and hear it run. I mean, after not even hearing one of these or seeing one in person to having one in front of me in the shop is pretty surreal. Very, very thankful that I even get the opportunity to own one of these. So hopefully come winter, we're gonna bring this thing to a show here in December. We'll probably make a video on that and bring a couple of the other units with us. And then I think we'll run it up out on Moody Lake once, and that'll probably be it. Okay, so it's a few days later now. We ran the sled for a bit, did a little bit more investigating, and I think we're gonna pull the skid today, replace some bearings because she was sitting on the barn floor for a little too long, and it seems like a couple of the wheels are not spinning freely at all. So we're gonna get that taken care of, and that should be it. Should be a nice little reliable rider. Oops. More, but show is coming up soon, so button her up real quick with some last minute work and get on with it. There, can start unbolting her now. Just don't whack our melon on the legs here. Okay, so I got the track nice and loose. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the bolts on either side. Just a quick look before we take it out. These are shot, so that one's not bad, but pretty much every single one that I've touched does not roll freely at all. So
gonna take this out and do some replacing on them. All right, got her out here. Not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. The rest of the sled is pretty nice, but this skid has been neglected for quite a long time. I don't know if it was just never rebuilt or just because it was sitting on the ground in a barn for a while, but pretty much every single one of these is locked up. So, I don't know. We'll get to rebuilding here. Lots of corrosion. If I had the, if I wanted to go all the way with this, I'd completely disassemble, but I think we're just gonna take care of the wheels and get her rolling good again. So we'll start swapping bearings here. Okay, so we're up on the bench now, and it looks like pretty much every single one of the little ones, and then probably the rear ones, are gonna need to get done here. The hardest part is getting these wheels off of the skid themselves. It's a painful process usually. Sometimes they come off really nice. Other times you want to throw a crowbar across the shop. So I think we're just gonna hit it with a little heat and then just pry on the back side of it. Not on the rubber, but on the actual face itself, as close as I can get to the center, because don't want to risk. These are pretty strong, but I still don't want to risk breaking these wheels because they're all in nice shape. So they're all going to be reusable. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this first one off here. All right, so got a good stack of wheels over here. They're coming off a lot easier than I thought they would. Usually you have to fight them, but I think I've got a pretty good technique going. So you pull your bolt out, obviously, and then hit it with the torch for a second or two, get it nice and hot. And then I pry on one side as close as I can get to the center of the wheel where it's, strongest and closest to where it's stuck on, obviously. And then I whack the opposite side with the soft hammer. And I won't say it's like the smoothest process, but they do come off pretty easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the last three off, and then I'll show you guys what it's like to put new bearings in these, and then we can go ahead and install them. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I got all our idler wheels, whatever you want to call them here. The only thing that holds them in is a big snap ring. Obviously these can only be pressed in and out from the one side. There will be a snap ring there. Pull those out. They can be a little stuck sometimes, so you can hit them with some penetrant or take like a punch and knock them loose, because they can get corroded into their groove. Yep, all our snap rings out, and then punch them out from the back side. You can either use a press or just a hammer or whatever. They are usually not really stuck in there. It's not a super tight press fit, so we'll go ahead and start taking all the old bearings out, and then we can start putting the new bearings in, and then we can start putting them back on the skid. So we take our punch, hammer, put it right on the inner race of the bearing. Old bearing comes out, and then you can see the inside of the wheel. We'll probably clean those up with some sandpaper or something, and then drop the new ones in. Okay, so jumped forward a little bit on you guys on accident. Wanted to just go ahead and keep moving along on this. Got all the little wheels taken care of. They all got brand new bearings in them. Spin great. Gonna get rid of a bunch of rolling resistance there in the track. And I moved on to the rear axle. And these were pretty bad as well. And I have never done the center wheel on the rear axle. There's 3, 1, 2, 3. And so this was new to me. So you run your adjusters all the way out. You can see I got them here. Run your adjusters all the way out. And then this roll pin here, you punch it out from the back there. You can't really see because it's dark, but you can see the light shining through there, I guess. Punch that all the way out. Do the same on the other side. And you can see where those roll pins go through on the rear axle. It's kind of, if I can slide that back in there. It sits like that. And the middle wheel runs in there. So basically, punch your roll pins out, and then that loosens all this up, lets it spin freely. You punch the rear axle all the way out, and then your middle wheel falls out. Yeah, we're just gonna rinse and repeat here. Take our snap ring out, drive the bearing out, and then punch some new ones in. So in the last clip, I showed you that the procedure for taking this axle apart. Put new bearings in all 3 of the rear wheels, and then put them all back on, and then grab another rear axle or front beam axle from our part stash. And we're gonna put this thing back under the sled. Now, all our hardware over here. I wanna make sure that we have these cups across on either end of the front beam, so it goes on the inside, doesn't damage the tunnel. And then while we have the skid out, just check out all our clips. Everything seems to be there. The track on this sled is actually in really, really nice shape, which is pretty awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and get the skid under this thing now and call it a night. So we put the skid back under the old SRX. For those guys, probably shouldn't have set up the tripod and taken a better video, but for those of you who haven't, I showed you when I took it apart, there's a bolt up here, and there's 2 back here, but in order to get these rear bolts to line up, you actually run a ratchet strap from the shock to somewhere up here to compress that shock so that these bolts line up better. But yep, and then I made the mistake of not cleaning and putting my adjusters in before we put the skid in, so we just did that now. Get all the rust off them so they turn easier. But that's about it. I think we're gonna align and tension the track now, and then we'll call it done on this project. All right, that's gonna just about do it on the old 79 SRX. Next time you see it, it'll probably be out on the snow or out at the show. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Keep her tuned.